This is July 12th, and I mean, this is day 12. I mean, no, it's day 14 of my fast. And the second talk I'm going to do today, and July 21st is a date. But I know what I'm going to call this one. A lot of times, as I've been making these, I don't really know what I'm going to call it because I really don't know exactly where I'm going in my talk. And so I think of a name after when I come to the conclusion of my thinking. But on this occasion, right here, I already got it titled because I already know what I want to talk about, and that is I'm going to just call it Cal. Cal, Jane, and who's the other one? Cal, Jane, and Gay. Cal, Jane, and Gay. All right. But I am serious about it, though. Very serious. So, Cal. That stands for calories. Because I've been weighing myself every day. And every day I don't eat. And every day my weight doesn't change. That's Cal. Cal stands for calories. And I'm not taking in any calories. So, I'm drinking a lot of water, like I am right now, because I need to. And so it's phenomenal to me that I can not eat and not lose any weight. But it's true. That's Cal. And yeah, well, I don't know if I'm going to refer to him as Mr. Cal or if I'm going to just refer to him as Cal or if I'm going to refer to him as Little Cal or I'm going to refer to him as Big Cal because Cal falls in all those categories. He wears all them hats, all right? He does all those things. And that's Cal. Cal is a pretty cool dude. He's rock solid. He don't take no slack. Well, it could be she. Sometimes, Cal is a woman. But, that being said, I'm just going to call him Cal, or her. Him, her. It's all the same. It's just phenomenal to me how I can not eat and not take in any calories, except for on occasion I drink a beer. But last time I drank a beer was at least like 3 days ago. I don't know. But that's the way it is with memory. And I just wanted to also make that point about memory. Mem. I'll call this one Mem. Maybe Mem, Cal, or I should say Cal, Mem, because I'm now talking about Mem. And then get to Gay and Jane. Yeah. So anyway, Mem. When I remember things, like when I remember, pushing a knife into my neck, when I remember, the guy squeezing the head of my dick, when I remember my dream when I was out on the Red Sea. Either the Red Sea or the Mediterranean, I don't know which. But I mean, when you're out there, that's all you see is water. When you look out from the ship, all you see is water. You don't see nothing else but water. All right. And sometimes them waves were big. I'm talking about, like, if I could transpose the picture that I have in my mind of how big them waves were onto yours, you would think that it's got to be some kind of horror flick. I'm telling you, man. You talking about the mouth of hell? I thought hell was fire. Well, yeah. Well, you ain't seen nothing till you seen water. The hell of water. You know, there are those three things: water, fire, and air. Like water, fire, and air. Water, fire, earth. No, water, fire, and earth. Earth, wind, and fire. There's even a group called Earth, Wind, and Fire. But those are the three main elements of. I just remember them as the three main elements: earth, wind, and fire. No, I can't remember exactly where it comes from, but obviously, you know, I've always believed it all my life, and I think it's true. So, anyway, that being said, as a ground upon which I stand, earth, wind, and fire, three main elements. But I was talking about Mem, you know, and Mem, see, is like when I remember all them different nodal points, like in my life, you know, I got a memory associated with that. Is a nodal, N-O-D-A-L, nodal memory. Okay, it's one that I anchor stuff around and everything like that. Like, it's a fixed situation in my mind that I can never forget. Well, the thing is, it's like eternal for me. Okay, the memory never will change, I don't believe. I mean, unless I lose my memory, I guess. But it is a constant for me. And like, I can remember just like it was yesterday, sitting there on that railroad tie, waiting to see if the cops are going to roll in. And if they rolled in, push. And that's exactly what I did. I had the cord lynched around my neck tight. My vein was out. I had my finger. I knew where it was. And then I just sat. In fact, that's what I wrote in my suicide note. You know, I thought I was going to be dead, like a matter of seconds if they rolled in. That's exactly what I did. Well, I remember it like it was yesterday, and it's a constant. It's like I can remember sitting. I was supposed to be watching my dad pull his mobile home, try to yank it in a better position. He needed to move somewhere. So he's using a truck, bam, bam, trying to pull it forward, because I don't know how many the thing weighs, but it's a lot, and it's on blocks. It's friction, and it ain't moving that easy. But he had it pillared up so that it would slide onto a new platform. They had to move it, and I was watching it. I was looking at it, and I hear him go bam, bam, bam every time he give it a yank like that. He says, "Is it moving?" I say, "No." You know, bam, bam, trying to jerk it forward with a truck or something. I can't remember what he was using, but I said no. He came out. He was furious, you know. He's saying, "What the hell is going on?" You know, I know that's what he likes thinking. You know, he was a Christian. You know, he didn't cuss, but he was angry, and he didn't have the cuss. All right, anger spoke louder than any cuss word could. I guarantee you that. And it's like, when they try to say cussing is a real bad thing, that's a bullshit. That's only to help you try to discipline your life to act good in civilization. Okay, and higher stratas of civilization, because there are different stratas of what that's like. At different stratas is different. You know, there's a civilization that the rules of the road. There's a civilization, the laws of the jungle. There is a civilization, the nobles and the kings. Look, as many different kind of categories as you can think of, there's a civilization for that. There's a stratus in society for that. They operate at that level, by those rules. The rules of that road. You might be on a highway, or you might be down on some dirt road down in Lower Subobia somewhere, waiting to be ambushed. Well, that's Mem. Anyway, Mem floats around in all them different places. Mem goes to all those civilizations. Mem goes to all those experiences. Some of them are outrageous. Some of them are unspeakable. Some of them you don't dare ever repeat again. Some of them are in the closet. Maybe they're down there in the secret cellar. They got to be there because they got their voices got to be heard. Because when you descend down into that realm, you better be prepared, and you better have somebody in your back corner. And Mem is there. Mem is everywhere. Mem is in the heart of God, see? That's Mem. Oh, never can forget Mem. I bow down and I worship the Mem. You know, but right now with Mem, I'm taking a little bit of a journey to the serious part, you know. A lot of times we go up on top of the slide. We go up on top of the slide, and then we slide down. See? We do that together. And Mem is a good friend. He's a real good friend. Because he's truthful. He don't spare a punch. Sometimes we go at it together, you know. He helps me get better. He helps me better defend myself. And look for the opportunity, man. Strike when the iron's hot. You know, you gotta want to bend that metal. So anyway, yeah, it's Mem. I tell you, I can't hardly leave Mem just to go to talk about, you know, Jane or Gay. Jesus Christ. Yeah, you think of the Three Musketeers, how they're so close together, how they defend each other, and how they advanced their attack and how good they are. Well, what am I talking about Three Musketeers for? I don't know, it must have something to do with Mem. Anyway, yeah, lost that one. Anyway, so yeah, I was just saying it's hard to leave Mem because because maybe the Three Musketeers are kind of the solidarity and the collaboration and the suffering together. That all creates a bond. See, like the Three Musketeers got a bond, and I have a bond like that with Mem. All right, I got a bond like that with Jane. I got a bond like that with Gay. Man, I got a big list here. I don't know if I can talk about all these people, places, or things. I tell you what, everyone in my group, they all wear the badge of each other. Okay? Mem got Jane's name tattooed, got Gay's name tattooed, and got Cal's name tattooed. All right. Now we talked about Cal, and Mem just kind of walked into the picture, kind of said, "Hey, man, don't forget about me," because I'm actually the dude, or the dudette, or whatever, you know. Like I said before, it's all the same. You only can say so much, though. Anyway, Yeah, so that's Mem. Okay, look, Cal and Mem, we're gonna be over right over here right now for right now, all right? Let me talk about Jane. Jane, you know, her full name is Mary Jane. And Mary Jane definitely been a constant in my life. Ever since the time I was, see, the thing is, I was going to say about Mem, actually the main thing I was going to say about Mem is Mem is a constant. I can't remember like what year on the linear time frame, how long ago it is, how long ago since I had that Mem. Like I had that experience with Mem. I don't keep track of time that way very well at all. Like I can't even hardly anymore even remember what year my kids were born. Although Adam and Amber's I do know pretty good. I don't know, for some reason I can always remember Adam, maybe because he's the first or something, 88. And then Amber, 89. And then, you know, of course I ain't gonna forget the month exactly. There may come a time when I forget the day. I doubt it though. No, because there's other reasons I would not forget the date. But now you my grandchildren, I know kind of months, but dates or days in the week, you know, I don't really actually quite remember for my grandchildren. I have like a clue, or I have like a memory that I can't really verify. You know, it's not something that me and Mem had to put a placeholder down for. Or a stake in the ground on that particular day, because a particular day isn't really all that. Right? That's why you don't get caught up in some details. You just get the point, and you know where to go if you need to find it. Anyway, that's a little bit more about Mem. Then I get on to Jane, Mary Jane. So, see, Mem, me and Mem didn't put a stake there on the date of when I actually met Mary Jane, but Mary Jane, I mean, it must have been in I don't know, I really don't, somewhere around 4th or 5th or 6th or 7th grade. I mean 4th, not that far, 4th or maybe 4th or no, maybe more like 5th, the 5th grade, 6, definitely by 6. I say between 5th and 6th grade. And so see, even then, like I don't know what year that was. All right, I just know for me it was like 4th or 5th grade, 5th or 6th grade. I mean, that's when I met Mary Jane. All right. I don't remember how old I was exactly. I'm just thinking between 10 and 12. And I'm thinking, for some reason, I'm thinking I actually started in with Mary Jane at the age of 12. That's when we had our first communion. That was our first communion, age 12. You know what? As a Catholic, that was when my first communion was, age 12. So, no, that can't be right. It had to be earlier than 12. Because I thought I was in a Catholic school when I made my first communion, and I thought that was age 12, but it couldn't have been age 12. And it seems like I was in Wisconsin when I celebrated my first communion, and I wasn't, so that don't match up either. Right? That's what the memory is, you know. Sometimes I guess it's not important. That's why with my religion and my faith, if they're going to talk about, make a big deal about whether or not Jonah was really in the mouth of the whale, all right, that ain't really the way my mem works with me. I ain't really worried about all them stupid details, you know. I get the point. I can get the picture. Look, man, you got to write something in code. Okay, that's the rules of the road. That's what you learn from, well, Cal. I mean, plays by the rules of the road. We all play by the rules of the road. Cal, Jane, Gay. Okay, who's the other one? Cal, Jane, and Gay, and Mary Jane. Who I'm talking about. Cal, Jane, Gay, and Mary Jane, and Mem. But so anyway, you know, Mary Jane, I smoked her, and she smoked me, and I've had a long and consistent relationship, except for the point in time where I became a Christian, you know, and it was necessary for me to get away from everything, and so I did. I mean, I didn't smoke no more marijuana. I didn't smoke. I didn't drink no more alcohol. I went to church. I read my Bible. I repented of my sin, tried to make it right with God, and do what I thought was the right thing. Burned all my albums. Took a bucket and stood on top of it in the smoking area, and it said, "Why do you seek the living among? Why are you looking for the living among the dead?" As an introduction, you know, I thought that would be a little catchy, you know. They listened to me. I'm a crazy fucking person, obviously. Pretty entertaining, yeah. Well, that's sad. Okay, yeah. I've known him a while. It is what it is. Yeah, we went there. Mary Jane and Mem, and then that's where I had to say goodbye to Mary Jane for a while. And then, but then when I met my youngest son, Isaac, or Coyote, you know, his mom, she reintroduced me to Mary Jane. And I remember being with her one time after I hadn't been with Mary Jane for a long time, and she got it from this dude that had long hair. He was a unit coordinator in the hospital, and I had already gone through graduate school and everything. I already went through the military, all that. And I met her after it was because I got a job at the hospital, and she was working at the hospital. See, yeah, that picture I showed you, they took that picture of me and Karen when I was a chaplain. We were eating outside lunch together. That's when we met and everything. That's how we met. She had a couple other girlfriends that she always was with. I'd eat lunch with the three of them together. And I like Karen. Karen was like a cat woman. She was like hot on fire, man. Like she was the sharp dressed lady. No, the lady in the black dress. Like there's a song, the woman with a black dress on, I think is the name and title of it. A woman with a black dress on. In fact, I'm gonna have to look it up now, because that one is another anchor. That's one of those anchors like in my life. Okay, yeah, like I was saying before, you got anchors. Well, that was an anchor. That song. And talking about, you know, she's you know, snapping her finger and making things happen. And you listen to the song, okay? I can't remember exactly how it all goes right now, but it's like a sharp woman with a black dress on and a severe body. I'm talking about a severe body, a severe mind, a severe long hair, all right, and making like, and you know that she's a woman. I'm just saying. Makes me have to get her a drink of water. I'm just saying. Karen was that woman with black dress on. Anyway, that's Isaac's mom. Well, it's better to have her for you than against you, because I know both sides. Believe me, I know both sides. And she's got the backup of her family. Well, people die. I don't know even, but probably, both my parents are dead. I don't know if both her parents are dead or not. People's parents die. Make room for the next. But the mem is a kind of also is what you call a astral projector. Okay, that's probably why mem doesn't take note in my life of things. I mean, stakes go down into the ground as memories. Like I can remember them like they were yesterday, but as far as the dates and the times, it's like I can remember meeting Karen, right? Like it was yesterday. No, certain memories, a pound of steak in your life, and that's what it is. It's a signpost of what has been. Right? And what has been, we're kind of putting posts in the ground with lights on them for the grandchildren to follow. Okay? So that's what I'm hoping. I'm putting some lights in the ground, for you to kind of follow a little bit, Mem, I think it cannot be underestimated. And then I met Mary Jane, and it reminds me of Karen because she reintroduced me to Mary Jane. And, she did that, but her and Mary Jane, I don't think ever really got along all that well. Not really, and don't seem to me they had a very big association. Not like me. All my life I've had a relationship with Mary Jane. And it's called Jane. Mary Jane is a pretty name though, and it's very fitting of her. I think of her mostly as a woman because I don't know, a good friend, enticing, beautiful, stuff like that. Sport is getting down here. See, he just came over here, pushing stuff around because he knows it's gonna rain. See, there's no sound, but he knows. He can feel it. See, he's a watcher, and he's afraid of the storm. I don't know why, but I don't think it's really from anything he's experienced in this life. I don't think he was ever like put outside on a chain in the thunder without a dog box or anything like that. I don't think he's ever really suffered like that. Okay? But I think he knows it in his spirit, and that's why I believe in spirit. See, and as I like when I put lights in the ground. See, look, it's also spirit. Those are spiritual lights, and they're going to be one way or the other. They might never be seen or be looked in my lifetime or something, and mine, what I put in might be forgotten, but it's still in the outer layer. Okay? And it's going to be. And that's what it appears to me, my mom telling me, as you will, but also as you wish, okay, it will be. Because there's also a little show, I know, one of my favorites, and I think maybe one of my daughter's favorites too, Amber, As You Wish. So, that's what the guy said when he's rolling down the hill. As you wish. And that is love. That's what love says. Look, now I gotta add another person to my story, love. I can't, okay, if I talk about Cal, if I talk about Mary Jane, if I talk about Gay, if I talk about Mem, and now I gotta talk about love, which I might just call V, because he's moving around because he's so scared. Because I was saying about the Valley of Love. So now I gotta cut off for me, and this is a brand new discovery. These characters that stand by me. I just literally just discovered this realization like within the last, I see the time here, 29 minutes. Well, about 35 minutes ago. I started walking into my picture. Okay. Cal. I get on the scale. And then I have a conversation with Cal. Because that scale ain't moving. I don't know what I'm learning a lesson, learning something. And then you know, and then Mem comes along. I'm actually going to see Mary Jane, but then Mem comes along. He said, "Hey man, I'm a real reality." All right, and I got because I got those memories. I hammered those memories in the ground. They're like stakes with lights on top of them. They are stakes that you pound in the ground with lights placed on top of them. Those are stakes pounded in my life with lights pounded on top of them. Well, anyway, talking about trying to get over to Mary Jane, but you know, Mem walked into the picture, and then talking a little bit about Mary Jane. But you know, I gotta get to gay and then love, I guess. So I'm gonna stop this one right here because I'm at 30 minutes, and then I'll talk about the rest of the realization that I had about these characters.